What's up, everyone? Yvonne Reborn here. As the holidays are close by, getting close by, I want to remind you all that we are living in a climate that is, we need to be able to name the thing, in order for us to do better. We need to be able to understand that it wasn't a Merry Christmas for everybody. We, in the Lukumi, in the Ifa-centric, Afrocentric, Afro-Caribbean, Yoruba traditions, indigenous, any indigenous traditions, we need to remember a couple of things. Number one, Christmas was not part of our thing natively, ever. It was certain people who had certain privileges who came in toting a particular book that made sure that we followed that. But that was not our traditions. Those were not our gods. That had nothing to do with us. Here's another thing. I've had a lot in my thoughts, and I'm trying to get this out, and it's uncomfortable for me to talk about. But if we don't talk about it, we don't call the thing a thing, we can't deal with it. We must deal with this. I found out for Africans, Americans, Black people that lived in the United States, Christmas was a really tough time and a fun time. Here we go. Christmas was a time where if you were a good slave, then you might get a pass to go visit your sister, your brother, your cousin, your mother, your brother, or your sons in another plantation. Passes were given out. And Miss Harriet Tubman and the Mexican crew, because yes, the Chicano crews were in the Underground Railroad and all those routes and the white tea people who were helping, that was when big time things were going on in order to try to gain freedom. However, during Christmas time, that was the time you could lose your babies, your husband, your brothers, your sisters, your daughters, your sons, because a common practice was that slaves were bought as gifts for Christmas. I saw a recent post where the paperwork arose. Let me see, I'm trying to figure out whether it was Maryland. I think it was Maryland, where a wife was gifted a 6-week-old baby Black boy as a gift, complete with papers of property of ownership and everything. How do you heal from that? First of all, I don't think you can ever heal, but we must do better. Lastly, actually, you know what? I'll leave the New Year's for later. So Christmas was the time to run or fear, because you might be the best Christmas gift ever. So if you were a really good slave, you could be the next gift to someone else. If you had good babies, they could be a gift. There was also the story of where a woman remembers her father being gifted as a Christmas gift to some other couple. She never saw him again. As we go into our holidays, let's be thankful that we are born here. However, our ancestors want us to know what happened to them so that we don't go through the same shit. What are we doing about it? Are we just talking about it? Are we just looking at TV hoping that it'll go away? What are we doing to be part of the solution? How much are we learning? I'm literally appalled that we have allowed, and we have been too complacent to allow people disrespect the indigenous people this way. As a spiritual person who follows slightly different tradition, I'm not sorry about that. But what are we doing? Let us remember as we go do our Christmas shopping, this isn't ours. This was put on us. And those traditions did a lot to our ancestry. And I'm still learning about what they did during this time to other indigenous communities. But I wanted to share one. Let me know your thoughts. And I am going to probably be sharing some of the books that I've been reading, because we cannot be in this tradition. I don't care what color you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care. We cannot be here without knowing what happened to the indigenous and to the African born or descendants from Africans, right? African descendants. We cannot. And we must honor all our ancestors. And it's really interesting how a lot of us get paired with spirit guides who come from certain periods. And I've heard this. There's a particular female. She is not one of my egums, but I love this person. And her spirit, his spirit came down and said, you don't know what suffering is. You don't know what I've seen and what I've been through. And looking back, just listening to some of the stories, I can't fathom. So as we are getting ready to go to Christmas, holiday season 2025, we must remember our ancestors. They went through some shit for us to be here today. I haven't even covered the indigenous parts from the Americas, because any person who is native to this land, that means non-African descendant. That means pretty much all of us. And for the people who have African descendants, that's pretty much all of us. We must learn our history. Haven't you noticed how much they're trying to erase it? As we go into the happy holidays, let's remember where we came from so that we can honor our ancestors. I am not going to edit this too much. I want to get this out. It's weighing on me, and there's got to be a reason. So if this message found you, might be for you. No matter what, we're alive. If you're watching this message, you are alive. So we got to thank the spirits that we are still here. Okay? I love you all. I've been working on the calendars. That's why I was shutting. There was something that was beeping, but I'm here and I'm grateful to be here, as should we all. All right. Bye, y'all.